This is part 9 of the series on famous Kerala temples, and we are in Guruvayur Sri Krishna temple. It is located at Guruvayur, Kerala, at a distance of 25 kilometers from Thrissur and 80 kilometers from Cochin airport. Guruvayur temple is dedicated to Lord Guruvayurappan, four-armed form of Lord Vishnu, and the idol is more than 5,000 years old. The crowd in the temple and queue in front are a testimony for the faith. Guruvayur temple is a typical example for Kerala's temple Vastuvidya, ancient treatise on architecture. It is faced towards east with two gopurams, one at east Kirakke Nada and other at west Padinjare Nada. The entire area between these two gopurams is roofed with tiles and known as Anapandal. At the center of this is a square-shaped pillar hall called Nalambalam, the outer wall of which is fixed with a gallery of oil lamps. At the south side of the Nalambalam, there is a sub-shrine of Sasta or Lord Ayyappan. The Sri Kovil Sanctorium is designed in two layers with copper sheet roofing plated with gold. The deity is in the traditional orthodox form of Mahavishnu with all the four arms, each arm carrying Sankh, Chakra, Gada and Padma. The Mula Vigraha, the main idol, is made of Patalanjana Shila and is considered extremely sacred. The puja routines were laid down by Adi Shankara and later written into the Tantra Samuchaya by Chenna's Narayana Nambudri. Tulabaram is a famous ritual in Guruvayur temple. A devotee is weighed against a commodity of his choice, banana, sugar, water, gold, and they are offered to the Lord. Sriveli is a daily ritual procession carried out in this temple. It is a procession of a capricine elephant marching, carrying the idol of Lord Krishna. It is done thrice a day, 7 a.m., 5:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. Chorunno or Annaprasanam in Guruvayur temple is the first rice-giving ceremony of a child conducted before the Lord Guruvayurappan. All the items including cooked rice, payasam, plantain, etc. are placed on a banana leaf and the children are fed each of these. There are several legends associated with the temple. Before the conclusion of his incarnation as Lord Krishna, Lord told his devotee and minister Uddhava that his image would come floating in the sea which would soon engulf Dwaraka. Uddhava was to request Brihaspati, the Guru of gods, to install the image at a suitable place. When this came to pass, Brihaspati and Vayu, the god of wind, set out in search of a sacred place to house the Murti. They met Parshurama, who led them to a beautiful lake full of lotus flowers. Lord Shiva was doing penance there, and he told Guru and Vayu to install the Murti at a spot near the lake, and that the site should be known as Guruvayur. Lord Shiva and the goddess Parvati left for Mammiyur on the opposite bank of the lake. The present tank, Rudratirtha, is only a miniature of the original lake. When the devotees go around the Krishna temple from a certain spot, they face Mammiyur and pray to Lord Shiva. Vishwakarma, the architect of the gods, built the Krishna temple at the request of Guru and Vayu. This is the account given in Mahabharata told by sage Dattatreya to King Janamejaya, son of Parikshit. As per the legend, Janamejaya conducted a sacrifice to destroy all the snakes of the world, including Takshaka, who was the cause of his father Parikshit's death. Hundreds of thousands of snakes fell into the sacrificial fire and were killed, but the sacrifice was eventually stopped by a Brahmin called Astika before Takshaka was killed. Since Janmejaya was responsible for the death of millions of snakes, he was afflicted with leprosy. He lost all hope of a cure. One day, sage Atreya, son of Atri, came before Janmejaya and told him to take refuge under the feet of Lord Krishna at Guruvayur. Atreya told him that in the temple at Guruvayur, the effulgence of Sri Hari is at its best, and Vishnu showers his blessings on all devotees. He immediately rushed there and spent next 10 months worshipping the god of Guruvayur. The king then decided to build a full-fledged temple at Guruvayur. As per another legend, An astrologer told a Pandya king that he was destined to die from a cobra bite on a particular day. He was advised to go and pray before Guruvayurappan. The king spent a lot of time in meditation and prayer at the feet of the deity on that day. Suddenly, the king realized that the time of his death had passed. He came back to his palace and asked the astrologer why the prediction went wrong. The wise man showed him the mark on his left foot where the cobra had bitten him. Since the king was wholly absorbed in the Lord, who alone can dispense with the fate, he did not feel the sting. In gratitude, the king built the Guruvayurappan temple and set apart funds for the daily routine of the temple. There are several miracles of Guruvayurappan. One such miracle is Melpathur Narayana Bhattathiri was a devotee of Guruvayurappan. He composed 18,000 verses Narayaniyam, a summary of the Bhagavata Purana in 1586 AD. Bhattathiri was a student of Achyuta pisharadi who became ill. As a student of the Guru, Bhattathiri took the disease upon himself as part of the Guru Dakshina. The disease was incurable and he was instructed by Elutachan to seek the blessings of Lord Guruvayurappan. It is said that he would recite one dasakam consisting of 10 verses every day. The local legend says that on the 100th day he had a vision of the Lord and rendered a graphic description of his form, after which he was immediately cured of the disease. Pundanam Nambudri was a humble devotee of Lord Guruvayurappan. He wrote a Malayalam lyric, Jnanappana, in praise of the Lord. He was not erudite like Bhattathiri, but his lyrics were noted for their simplicity and devotional fervor. He requested Bhattathiri to revise it, but Bhattathiri lacked humility and looked down upon Pundanam's knowledge of Sanskrit. Pundanam went home and wept bitterly before the Lord. That night, a boy appeared at Bhattathiri's house as he was preparing to recite Narayaniyam. Seating the boy at his side, he started to recite. The boy pointed out an error in the very first verse. The poet admitted it and proceeded with the next verse. And the boy pointed out two mistakes. In the third verse, he pointed out some more, and so on. After the 10th verse, Bhattathiri realized that the boy was the Lord himself and understood that Pundanam's bhakti was more pleasing to the Lord than his own superior knowledge of vibhakti, Sanskrit grammar and learning. He rushed to Pundanam and sought his forgiveness. When he read the Jnanappana, he found that it was flawless. King Manaveda told Vilvamangalam about his ambition to view Lord Krishna. The next day, the Swamiyar told him that Guruvayurappan had given his consent and Manavedan can see Guruvayurappan playing in the early hours in the morning at the platform of the LNG tree. He could only see but not touch him. When, as per this agreement, Manavedan saw Guruvayurappan in the form of the little child Sri Krishna, he was so excited that he forgot himself and rushed to embrace little Sri Krishna. Guruvayurappan immediately disappeared, saying that Vilvamangalam did not tell me that this will happen. However, Manadevan got one peacock feather from the headgear of Bhagavan Krishna. The peacock feather was incorporated in the headgear for the character of Sri Krishna in the dance drama Krishna Tam, based on his own text Krishna Giti, which is composed of 8 chapters. It is performed near the sanctorium of the Guruvayur temple. The blessed art form is still maintained by Guruvayur Devaswam and staged as an offering by the devotees. Sengalipuram Anantarama Dikshidhar was a well-known scholar and Upanyasa Chakravarti. He was cured of his leprosy by praying to Lord Guruvayurappan. His disease was so advanced that the watchman did not allow him to take bath in the temple tank. 3 years later, Dikshidhar came to pray to Guruvayurappan to the amazement of all. The miracle was due to the faithful recitation of Narayaniyam, and he popularized Narayaniyam amongst all devotees. Vilvamangalam Swamiyar and Kururamma were cousins. There is a holy spot, Nritham, on the eastern side of the northern entrance to the temple where Swamiyar meditated and danced in ecstasy. It is believed that the Lord often gave him darshan in person on the last ritual of the day. He could see him whenever and whatever form he wished. The Lord was a child to the childless Kururama. She played with him and would even scold him when he was naughty. He helped her in all her household chores as a dutiful son would do for his mother. There is a banyan tree a few meters away from the temple on the eastern Nada. A young Varsayar girl would make a garland every day and offer it to the Lord in the night. The male Shanti or chief priest would adorn the idol with it. One day she was late and the Srikoil was closed. Manjula stood near the banyan tree crying, and Poondanam, who passed by, told her, Guruvayurappan knows what is in your heart, so keep the garland on the banyan tree and he will accept it. The following morning, when male Shanti began to remove the Nirmalyam, one garland stuck to the idol and would not come off. When Poondanam saw this, he called out to the Lord, saying, That is Manjula's garland, let it also fall. The garland fell and the devotees were awestruck and started chanting the Lord's name. From that day, the banyan tree is called Manjula. Chambai Vaidyanath Bhagavatar lost his voice suddenly at the peak of a concert he was giving at Suchindram. Several doctors tried to cure him, but of no avail. He went to Guruvayur and cried out to the Lord. He regained his voice and lived many more years to sing in many concerts. He donated all his earnings to the Guruvayur temple. Another anecdote is a villager had planted a number of coconut saplings and had promised himself that he would offer the first coconut from each of his coconut trees to the Lord Guruvayurappan. When the trees started to yield coconuts, he collected the first coconut from all the trees and put them in a sack and set forth to Guruvayur. On the way, he was stopped by a robber and asked him to part with the items in the sack. The villager told the robber that the coconuts in the sack belonged to Guruvayurappan, and so he was unable to hand it over. The robber disdainfully asked the villager, Is Guruvayurappan's coconut any different? Does it have horns? When the robber pulled the sack forcefully out of the villager's hands, the coconuts spilled out. To their astonishment, each and every coconut in the sack had horns. Even today, the coconut with horns are displayed in the temple for the devotees to see. Guruvayur temple was plundered by Dutch and Hyder Ali. Tipu Sultan, Hyder Ali's son and successor, descended on the scene to defeat the Zamorin and to convert Hindus to Islam. Fearing destruction of the image, Mula Vigraha, main deity, was hidden underground, and the Utsava Vigraha, processional deity, was taken to Ambalapura. Tipu set fire to and plundered the temple. After the English drove out Tipu, both the Vigrahas were reinstalled. The festivals conducted in the temple are Utsavam festival in the month of Kumbha, February to March, lasting 10 days, Vishu, the Malayali New Year, in mid-April, Vaishakhi, April-May, Ashtami Rohini, July-August, Lord Krishna's birthday, Janmashtami, Kuchela's Day, December to January, is celebrated with pomp and show. The management is by Guruvayur Devaswam Board. The telephone numbers and the temple timings are given in the description box. Thanks for watching.